and then going, and then instead of hitting the brakes, I push hard on the acceleration, go someone's lawn, and I crashed into a house going 100 kilometers an hour, and I ejected head first completely out of the vehicle, and I died. I was done. 20-30 minutes later, as my consciousness left my body, it was still around my body, observing and noticing. I was out of my body, I wasn't in my body, and I was observing my body, and I was just present. I was like shocked. I was like, I didn't know what to do, to leave, to where to go. Should I go to heaven? Should I go up the sky? I just stayed there with my body, observing, because I was able to see myself just limp and just conscious, unconscious, but I was conscious because I was there. Next thing you know, ambulance come. They put me in the gurney, take me into the ambulance. And that's when I knew that I was separate from my body, because I'm like, my body's being taken, but I'm observing them taking my body. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go closer. I gotta stay connected to my body. So that's when I knew and started to notice. And then I see them looking at me and saying, oh my gosh, like, and they're rushing, they're trying to go, and they put the mask on me for the oxygen. They're trying to pump me, trying to revive me. They're trying to resuscitate, and then they say, okay, we're losing him. And they start taking off to the hospital, Foothills Hospital. And we're on the highway, and I'm like observing that, but I'm like, okay, let them work on me. This is cool. And I don't know if I said this is cool, but I knew that I could just be content. So I start to be content, at peace. And I left the ambulance, and I'm watching the ambulance, and I'm observing. I'm like, okay, where are we going? Okay, where are we at? And I can see where we are and where we're driving and where we're going. And I'm just entering back in, looking at the lady and the man trying to resuscitate me and revive me, and saying, he's losing too much blood, we're losing him. And they're trying to take care of me until we get to the hospital. Then we get into the hospital, and they're rushing me. And meanwhile, I'm just following my body as if I'm just a spirit, a ghost or whatever. And I'm translucent, and you can see me as the whole physical form, but I'm see-through. Like you can almost see me, but you can't see me. I'm like a piece of me. A piece of me was left, and that's what it looks like. And I end up going into the room, and I can see in the hallway like 5 to 7 random people, maybe like people who found out. Nobody told me this. I know it because I was there. I sensed it. I felt it. I heard everybody's whispers, prayers. I even know when the hospital, the surgeon would turn on the light and like, go and do surgery on me. I didn't know what to do with my body, because I didn't know how to enter my body. I didn't know what to do with my body. I couldn't just lay down with my body and be like, we're gonna whatever. But I was looking at the nurses and the doctors, though. Every time they would say, and I would look at them like, that's bullshit, because I'm a spirit. Like, that's a lie. Like, I can heal, but my body was a vegetable, right? Like, they knew that. They didn't know like what else was wrong with me, but I was feeling like that's not true. And I wanted to speak and say, that's not true. Like, don't listen to that. Like, don't worry, don't listen to that. I'm right here. At this time, I'm like, okay, I know what's going on. They're about to do this. And I'm like thinking about my thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And our spirits have thoughts, feelings, and emotions as well, but it's easier, it's lighter, it's more forgiving, it's less like hard. And I said, okay, what am I supposed to do now, right? I end up going above the hospital, and I'm just allowing. I'm just letting it be. I'm just allowing. And I'm thinking, meanwhile, what about my body? Should I go back? But I'm like, don't be in control here. Something else is in control. So at the same time, we're source, we're gods, but we're connected to a higher source that we have to at the same time have humility and respect, right? And I just kept going, and I leave and I go up and I'm like, it's crazy. I'm like looking at everything, like the sky, and I'm getting further and further and further away, but that was the experience. And I entered more of a vortex to guide me, to take me somewhere, like it was like a portal. And I enter this portal and it's just sucking me fast as light can go. And I'm seeing different lights and colors and frequencies, and I'm seeing different, the only way to say it is almost like the lights were galaxies, but the lights, and then there was darkness in the midst of it. So it's through space, but there's lights and you're in a funnel at the same time. I know that there's blackness, and I know that I'm leaving the blackness. That's why there's blackness behind me. But I'm like, where am I going? And I'm just going so fast. And I feel so vulnerable, almost sick to my stomach, where I'm like, when is this gonna end? And at that moment, I showed up. You know, when you're so scared because you're in the unknown, you don't know where you're going, and you just surrender, and you don't know like what's happening. Am I dying? Am I going to hell? Am I going to heaven? Like, what's happening? Like, it was that sick to my stomach feeling of, I'm gonna accept my destiny. I'm gonna accept wherever this takes me. And I show up and in front of light. And I'm like, okay, I stopped and there's black behind me, and I can easily feel that, what do you want to do? I could be in control, but I don't want to be in control anymore. I had to feel the welcome. I entered this white light, and I go into this white light, and it's a realm. It's like a presence. It's like a feeling. It's like a symphony. It's like a angelic comfort and understanding and emotion, but like a forgiveness emotion, like a compassion, like, wow, how was that journey? You're here now. Like, that was your experience. How did you like Earth and that realm? And it was like someone sends you away off on vacation for decades, or for like years, or whatever, however long this physical world is, and you come back home. That's what it felt like. It was like, I felt like that. And it was so easy to just say, I want to stay, I want to be here. But the biggest judge of all was me. I was the biggest judgment, and I realized that I'm my own judge. It's not God and what people say your judgment day is. No, I observed right away, and I'm looking, and then I'm observing, and I'm like, I fucked up. Like, what am I doing here? I'm a mess up. Why do I feel all this love? But I'm like, there's bliss, there's joy, there's compassion, there's empathy, there's respect, there's honor. I felt honored. I felt like a god. And one god, like one of the gods, right? Like, I felt like a part of it. And I was like, wow. And I see like angels, like guardians, just humbling down and just being honorable to the realm and the source. And I'm like looking at that, I'm like, wow, this is where I came from, or this is what not where I came from maybe, but this is where I am now. Like, wow. And then I look, and I kid you not, but I see like a figure lift up that was just, the head alone was 20 times bigger than the guardians. And I couldn't see the full body, but I see like a presence, like just a presence being there, looking at me, and I felt the energy. What do you want to do like I felt welcomed. It wasn't talking, it was more me telepathically articulating everything. I didn't want to say I don't know, I didn't want to talk too much, but I was in my feelings, thoughts, and emotions, and in my own mind I was like, man, I don't know, I just left that, like, what do I do? And I started thinking to myself, not saying it to source there, or to the being or the energy. I started to say, but what I could have, man, my mom, my son, I left this, I was abusive there all my whole life entirely, and I'm looking down like, oh, I could have, so I'm here now, but that's how I could have handled it. That's what they were feeling, or that's why I could forgive them like that. That's easy. I could forgive myself. I could talk. I could communicate. I could be in harmony. I'm like, damn, I could have, would have, should have. I'm like, I could go back. I'm like, oh, it's so good here. What do you want to do? And I'm like, I want to go back. Are you sure? I was not given any lessons. I was not saying, bro, you think it's gonna be easy, but you don't know what you're in for. Like, I wasn't warned. So I was just asked again, are you sure? And I'm like, I had, that moment was an oath, a commitment, and a sacrifice. Another thing that's very important we need to understand. So I made an oath. I was making an oath. I was commanding and demanding. I was compelling and dwelling. And I said, I'm sure. I sacrifice, I commit. I was committing to myself. And I was doing this to get a trust, to get a signal of, I believe you. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcomed. So as soon as I was honored and respected and welcomed as a student, as a spirit, as an angel, as a God, as a piece of source to go back, as soon as it was okay, I went back. And I left and I go back around, I leave the white and I enter the vortex or the realm or the portal to take me back. And it was easier to go back